Hello and welcome back to the Birdcage. I'm Jack Kenna, and today we will be recapping the Creighton Bluejays 79-56 win over Kansas City. To start the game, this game was fun. It was, I feel like, the toughest challenge Creighton has had all year, and I feel like they met up to the expectations and I think dominated for a majority of this game. Scoring wise, it was very versatile. A lot of different people found their way into the stat sheet, specifically Jackson McAndrews, freshman Jackson McAndrews, shooting 4 of 5 from the field, 3 of 4 from behind the arc. His stroke was feeling it. He was feeling it yesterday. Isaac Trout, 3 of 8 from behind the 3 point line. Stephen Ashworth, 3 of 9 from behind the 3 point line. Those two would like to shoot it a little better. I know Isaac Trout had a lot of open 3 pointers in the corner that he wished fell. Every time he shoots the ball, it looks like it's going in. Same with Stephen Ashworth. Pop Isaac struggled shooting from the field. He shot 3 of 10. However, I'm very confident that he will be able to figure it out as well. Creighton has three guys that I'm extremely confident in: Isaacs, Ashworth, Kalkbrenner. And then Jemiah Neal and Isaac Trout are starting to feel more comfortable in that 3 and 4 position. When Fedor becomes eligible, it might shift. This might shift. But right now, Isaac Trout and Jemiah Neal are figuring it out, and they're shining in their roles right now. Jackson McAndrew, we talked about him. Off the bench, he was amazing. He was really good off the bench today. He had led the team in scoring with 15 points. Fred King showed promise. Um, he didn't foul, which I think is important, specifically because I think he's going to be a player that's going to be crucial. If we want Ryan Kalkbrenner to be at his best, he's going to need a little bit of time to relax and rest. This was a game where Creighton dominated offensively. They were the superior offensive team, and they forced Kansas City to shoot tough shots, mid-range shots that they didn't really want to shoot. Jamar Brown was their go-to guy. That was Kansas City's dude, and he shot 5 of 20 from the field. If a player's going to shoot 5 of 20 from the field, you're doing a pretty good job. He had 12 points. That Kansas City team runs through him, and we shut him down. Um, it's going to be a test on Friday. Creighton Blue Jays have their first real test when Nebraska comes to town, but Nebraska lost to St. Mary's tonight. So how good is that Nebraska team? We'll have to wait and find out. Obviously, 2 years ago, they upset us in Omaha, a feeling that we're going to want to try to avoid. Creighton beat Nebraska pretty handedly by 29 points last year. Baylor Shireman had one of the best games of his life, and he will be, I guess not he, but Creighton will be looking to avenge themselves from 2 years before when Nebraska beat them at their own place. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. Surely it will be. Those are the two games that I think can really impact Creighton, or this is going to be one of the games that's really going to impact Creighton. The game's at 7 p.m. It will be one of the most electric games this season, just because when Nebraska comes to town, rivalry comes to town, it always is. This is the 10th time in 15 years that Greg McDermott has seen his Creighton team go 4-0. Ryan Kalkbrenner had another game where he didn't have to do too much. He didn't. He had a great game. He didn't have to do too much. Jemiah Neal, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. He was kind of doing a little bit of everything today, and that's what you like to see. I would like to see Jemiah Neal maybe even create a little more in the half court. He does a lot right now through transition, which is perfectly fine. But Jemiah Neal has shown promise passing the ball. 6 assists is incredible. Ashworth had 6. Isaacs had 5. We have a lot of people on this team who can handle the ball and even make plays with the ball. I'm excited because I think that's only going to increase with Fedor Zusic. Hopefully, he becomes eligible very, very soon. Creighton didn't turn the ball over today either. 8 turnovers, which is really crucial if we want to win basketball games. I know when we have Kansas here, when we go to Alabama, the tournament where we play San Diego State, um, Texas A&M, I think is one of the teams we'll play there. We have a tough non-conference. We do. And if we can quit turning the ball over like we have in the first three games, I think this Creighton team will actually be able to compete with those teams. I'm excited to see Zusic. I really hope that he is eligible soon. I'm confident that he will be eligible. We just don't know. We just don't know. The first half, Ryan Kolkbrenner had 10 points. Jemiah Neal had 11. All 11 of Jemiah Neal's points were in the first half. He dominated. Isaac Trout shot 3 of 5 from the field. And Creighton shot 50%, almost 47% from three in the first half. It was the second half where things really didn't go our way necessarily. We only shot, I was looking at the wrong team. We shot 17% from three in the second half, a number that's going to need to increase, but it was efficient. We shot a lot more efficiently from the field than we have. Um, or at least it looked like we did against Houston Christian, which was nice. Kansas City did something similar where they really, really, really just tried to grind out this game, force Creighton to take tough shots. And Creighton got a majority, most of the game, got the shots that they wanted to take. I saw improvements from Trout and Neal and McAndrews. If we can get around similar production from those guys, maybe even higher clips from Trout, then I think this team has a really high ceiling. And I think the floor of this team is actually pretty good too. The rest of the Big East is a little interesting because I think right now UConn's looking like the favorite again. I think Creighton's up there. I think Marquette's up there. They had a tough win at Maryland the other day. St. John's got a win today as well. Rick Pitino beat his son at New Mexico. I think the Big East is going to be top heavy again. Hopefully Xavier can figure it out because that's going to be another team that we're going to rely on to get into the tournament. Hopefully they can do that. But overall, you can't be better than 4-0. The Creighton Bluejays looked pretty good most of the game. They're up 34 at one point, and then UMKC, Kansas City, went on a 13-0 run or something crazy like that to kind of cut the lead back. So Creighton had to lock in a little bit. They weren't really ready for that run that UMKC made, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. Creighton led the entire time, dominated from start to finish, got not a lot of bench points. Jackson McAndrews really led in that category with 15 of the 21. But overall, you have to be you have to be pleased with the performance that you saw from the Creighton Blue Jays. Hopefully this is a building block for Friday because we're going to need it. If this Creighton team is going to be really good this year, we will find out on Friday. And I really hope everything that I've been hoping and seeing and reading about this Creighton team comes to life because I think this team has the potential to be um, top in the country, even top five team in the country, best team in the Big East, one seed potentially. We'll find out soon if that's the case. Fingers crossed it is. Hopefully we find out some more news on Zusic, and I'm excited for Friday. It'll be a big game. But I will have a preview and recap out for that game closer to game time on Friday. That game is Friday at 7 p.m. at the CHI Health Center. So I will see you guys with some more Creighton basketball later in the week.